Now, I say all that to say this. With regards to women, that animal drive in us, the biological instinct, we pursue them with a little too much ambition. We're a little too overt at the wrong times. So as a result, they can see us coming from a mile away. But here's the kicker: you're not unique, little buddy. You're doing the exact same behavior as the 3,000 dudes that tried to holler at her before you. Huh? You didn't learn anything about her. You didn't qualify her. You just tried to shoot that shot straight away. What it lets her know about you is that you don't have any standards. You don't have standards about yourself. It's almost like a lack of self respect. You're some kind of an animal. You'll accept any woman, whether she has the same values or not. Now, women get thirsty too. It's just that they don't get thirsty as often. You might not see a woman get thirsty until the 6'5", athletic looking master specimen shows up. Then they get thirsty. But Brody only shows up once every 2 years. Whereas with men, we're indiscriminate. So as long as Shorty got two legs and two lips, yeah, we about to see what it do. And it's that thirst in you that's a major turnoff because she can assess that you're not into her in particular, you're into any woman. Hmm? And nobody wants to be used. The feeling you would get if a woman were to use you for your money is the same feeling a woman would get thinking that you just want to use her for her body. This doesn't mean she doesn't want to give up the body and give up the box. No, absolutely. She ready to serve that up. But it needs to be at least a little bit special, right? So what I want to encourage you guys with is not only to have a little bit of etiquette to your game, it's also have some self-respect. Make sure you qualify, shorty. And in exercising that self-respect, she's going to have more respect for you. You have to be the first one to respect yourself. She's going to follow suit. Problem is, y'all ain't got no standards. Now, dig this. Then you want to move on to the piece of empathy, not for the purpose of being sensitive or, a nice, emotionally developed man. Hell nah. For self interest, you want to be empathetic, which is to say, put yourself in the position of a woman. How many guys today said, "Oh, you're beautiful"? Shorty works at the front desk in a hotel. How many guys tried to slide after they got their room key? When you're in a customer service facing position, for example, as a female, guys already have an entree into striking up a conversation just as a part of a transaction, a business transaction. So even the cowards are going to try to shoot their shot. Whereas if the same female was walking by them on the street or in the mall, they wouldn't say a damn thing. But they feel like it's easier because the woman has to talk to them as a function of executing her job duties. So, in as much as that's the case, you can bet your bottom dollar that an awful lot of men have tried to slide. So, in terms of being empathetic, you got to ask yourself, how far above average am I? How much do I stand out? If she's a beautiful woman and she handled 300 transactions today, probably about 30% of those guys tried to slide, whether overtly and aggressively or more low key and subtly. So you have to ask yourself, am I saying what she's heard before? Am I displaying behavior that's predictable and typical? Am I standing out in any meaningful way? Am I a value add to her? Did I make her earn it? Everybody likes to earn things. Things of value are the things that are expensive, or at least we perceive them to be of value when we have to work for it, when it costs us a lot of money, costs us time, costs us effort. And you can learn a lot from observing the moves of the human female. By the way, hit that like button if you didn't. What you'll see with the human female is that they're takers by nature, and they'll take quite a bit from you. And in taking from you, they draw you in deep. You feel like you have so much investment. And with your investment in that female increases the likelihood of you sticking with her. Similarly, the girl could be a complete slower. she's still gonna hide the vagina from you, you hear me, and make you earn it, which is extraordinary because it's used. But she's gonna make you earn it. Why? It increases retention. So let's go flip mode. The question for you is, how do you take some of her tactics and apply them to her? You be way ahead of the game because most men are not willing to think twice. They're operating off of fear and animal instinct mixed together, but not the right animal instinct, not the vicious, dominant animal, more so of the animal that's weak and treacherous, more hyena like. You want to operate out of the lion's mentality, out of the Black Panther's mentality, not off of a hyena and a vulture mentality, not a scavenger mentality. And that's what we observe in most males. So now, let's consider this. When you're a little bit different, or shall I say noticeably different, when the woman engages you, she's going to think twice, she's going to look twice. And you need to be able to pick up on that. You need to be able to identify, like, got you. I'm in. Then it's time to be aggressive. It's like in boxing. You might be feeling out your opponent. You might be hitting them with a jab, not too hard. You know, you're holding back a little bit of energy. You know, this may be a marathon or maybe not. Could be a first round knockout. But you're a shark in water, and when the blood is in the water, that's when you attack and become vicious, hyper aggressive. Close the deal, in other words. Close the deal, which is close out the contact info or close out the smash or close out the date. One of the three. So check this out. This is the difference between a mere mortal and a super player. I call Verizon today. I'm doing some traveling in some odd countries, and I haven't been getting phone service on either of my devices, so I call up Verizon. And in the midst of her giving me the customer service, now mind you, I'm not trying to slide at all. Why is that, Marquette? I don't even know where Shorty lives. You heard me? Like, it's a total waste of time. She doesn't speak the best English I've heard. Like, English is pretty good, but I've never seen her face. I'm not in a long distance relation. There's 1,000 reasons I'm not trying to slide. I'm just trying to get my phones working. So we're waiting on a number of things, number of processes, and as that goes, there's just a little bit of small talk. I'm not really engaging it. I'm actually doing things while I'm on the phone. Then I'm talking on one phone, she has to call me on the other device. And, when you really are a super player, there's a different feel. You're going to do things differently than other guys. You have a different level of confidence and dominance. And so she called me on the other phone, and I answered the phone like, "Hey, baby." And then she starts laughing, and the conversation carries on. I'm still not trying to slide. I'm just having fun because I enjoy life. And then eventually she says, "Hey, do you like tattoos?" In my head, I'm like, what are we talking about here? Can I get my phone fixed, shorty? Like, now at this point, she hit me with so much conversation, it's like slowing down the process. I say, yeah, it depends. Like, mostly no. But, depending on the person, it can look good. She says, "Oh, I just got a tattoo recently." I say, "Oh, yeah? Would you get a butterfly?" And she says, "Yeah, actually, I did get a butterfly." And in my head, I'm like, okay, you're a very basic female, nothing of interest. Now, the way you're going to engage with a female when you think she's like not very interesting or impressive, that level of nonchalance and disinterest, oh, that turns them on. Marquette, why does that turn them on? Because that's not everyday stuff, my boy. We're going to get into it. But first, as we have a tradition, show love to those who show love to you. Let me acknowledge the real men